Hello everyone, I am D.TAGORE from TTWREIS Boys 𝗪𝗫𝗀. Today I am going to teach election process in India. I hope you guys are quite interested to learn something new today. So let's conceptualize an interesting topic in social subject, that is election process in India. Before getting into topic, we should know about the objectives of this lesson. The objectives are: people will appreciate the role of election commission in conducting elections in India. People can able to differentiate between monarchical government and democratic government. People can able to differentiate political parties and national parties. People are going to know election malpractices. Friends, we know that in recent on 30th November 2023, our third state assembly elections was held, and we are going to conduct our Lok Sabha elections in March. Friends, do you know why these elections are conducting? Yes, to elect or select our representatives. Friends, do you know what is the need of these elections? Yes, in a vast country like India, it is so difficult to the people to gather at one place and take decisions. That's why the need of elections arise. Friends, do you know who ruled us before our independence? Yes, Britishers. Do you know who ruled before them? Yes, kings or monarchs. The government of kings or monarchs is called monarchical government. In the monarchical government, people are ruled under kings or queens. At the time, will these people have the right to elect these kings or queen? No, because these kings or queen are rule under hereditary base. That means if a king dies, his son or another person will rule the people until he dies. If a king is not elected by the people, do you know how will he rule? Yes, he will rule according to his own whims and wishes. He don't care about people's welfare, because he doesn't have the fear that if he doesn't do good to the people, does he lack anything? No, nothing. And in our recent Telangana elections, a government was formed, and the government which formed electing by the people is called what? Yes, democratic government. In the monarchical government, people don't have the right to vote. But where we coming to democratic government, the people will elect their servants or the representatives for the period of 5 years. There was no role to the people in the monarchical government to elect their kings. But where we coming to democratic government, the major role played by people only. Here in democratic government, people will elect their representatives or the servants. If they elect for lifetime? No, they will elect only for 5 years. You may ask a question that why the people elect representatives only for 5 years? If we elect them for lifetime, then that will come under monarchical government. Yes, that will come under monarchical government. Then the representative will rule like a king. To avoid this, the people we have to set a limited tenure to the representative. Then he will have the fear, the representative will have the fear to rule good, to create a good governance. So that's why in democratic government, people will have the power to vote. In the democratic government, if a representative doesn't do good to the people, does he lack anything? What will happen? People will keep aside him from the position, and they will elect another person to rule. This is the beauty of democracy. Now we will learn the 3 stakeholders of election commission. Stakeholders means the people who participate in. So here the first stakeholder is political parties. These political parties are who contest in elections. These political parties will have an agenda. Each political party have their own principles, and these political parties will mobilize the people regarding different aspects, and they will promote their manifesto. Manifesto means a list of promises. This is the manifesto of such government in the recent Telangana elections. So by this manifesto, they will include some promises. So what promises that are? If they form the government, what are they going to do? the things will they mention in this manifesto, and if the people believe them, they will elect them. And you may notice a difference in the political parties. Those are in the political parties are, some are national parties and some are regional parties. You may ask a question that how these political parties are classified as national parties and regional parties. In a state, if a government recognized with 3% of valid votes and 3 assembly seats, that party is known as regional party. In a 4 states, if the political party recognized with 6% of valid votes and 11 Lok Sabha seats, that party is known as national parties. Yes, this is the role of political parties. You may ask a question that, okay, these political parties will contest in elections, then who conducts the elections to these political parties? For that, a massive mechanism is there, that is Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India is a constitutional body formed on 25th January 1950. Friends, do you know we also celebrate 25th January as National Voters Day, because to encourage the new voters, to encourage the new generation to participate in elections. The Election Commission has 3 major functions, that is administrative function, quasi-judicial function and advisory function. In administrative function, Election Commission announces the dates for elections, receives the nominations, scrutinizes it, and they will declare the candidates. In quasi-judicial function, the Election Commission will act as a judicial committee to resolve the disputes between political parties. It is not a full-fledged government, but it acts as in a manner of a judicial function. And the next one is advisory function. In advisory function, the Election Commission will give the advices to the political parties about elections. And the Election Commission has an autonomous status. Autonomous status means it is free from anyone, no need to answer government. Just in such time, the Election Commission have a complete control over the government. And the Election Commission has a 3 members committee. Our first election commissioner, Chief Election Commissioner is Sukumar Sen, and the present former Chief Election Commissioner is Rajiv Kumar. Then what will this Election Commission do? This Election Commission will prepare a electoral list. Electoral list means eligible voters list. The body of the voter is called electorate. This is the electoral list of my village prepared by Election Commission. And the Election Commission will allocate the symbols to the political parties. And then who are eligible to vote? Friends, can I ask a question? Did any one of you have right to vote? No, because we are minors. So a person who attained 18 years of age, they can cast their vote irrespective of caste, creed, religion, region and gender. This is called universal adult franchise. Friends, a vote is a mighty weapon in the democracy. People used to cast their vote, and they will write their own fate by casting their vote. And friends, do you know our first voting age is 21 years, but in 1988 the 61st amendment was passed and it has reduced to 18 years. And another major role of Election Commission is to allocate the symbols to the political parties. Friends, here you can see that each political party have their own symbols. Here the BJP have flower, and other parties have their own symbols. You may ask a question that why these symbols to the political parties? The story behind it was, in our first general elections, which is conducted in 1952, only 17.2 crore people utilized their vote, because at that time there is only 10% of literacy rate is there, and in a vast country like India, which has 70% 70% of illiteracy rate. Such people can't read and write. So it became a tough task to the election commission to conduct election to these illiterate people. For that, the election commission came up with an idea to introduce and to allocate symbols to the political parties. These symbols are the things or the articles which we use in our daily life. By these the people, the illiterate people or any other people can easily cast their vote. And the election commission plays another role in executing code of conduct. Code of conduct means certain rules and guidelines prescribed by the election commission. Let us discuss some key points of the code of conduct. No political announcements targeting caste or religion shall be made. In places like churches, mosques, temples and other holy places and other educational institutions, no candidate should canvass and campaign. A contesting candidate should not influence voter by giving cash or any other articles. A contesting candidate or a political party should not make any statements regarding caste, creed, religion, region and gender while criticizing them. A voter should not cast his or her vote on others' identity. These are the main key points of the code of conduct. In elections, such political parties will ask the vote in the name of caste and religion. That is not a healthy way to ask vote. That is not a democratic way. This is one of the malpractices in elections. And some people and some political parties will violate this code of conduct to win over people. Violating code of conduct is known as one of the malpractices in election commission. If any contesting candidate violate this code of conduct, they will be barred from the elections. And now let us discuss about a famous person called T.N. Seshan. And let us see some recommendations. And T.N. Seshan was our 10th former Chief Election Commissioner who made tremendous changes in election procedure. Let us discuss some recommendations of T.N. Seshan. 14 days time limit for campaigning after the withdrawal of nominations. If a contesting candidate punished for 2 years, he or she will be barred from the elections for 6 years. One candidate should not contest from more than 2 constituencies at a time. If the contesting candidate expires, the election should be postponed, not to be abolished. After completion of campaign time, the sale of liquor should be banned for 48 hours. The recommendations of T.N. Seshan was a milestone in the election commission, and the election commission will announce the dates for elections. The interested candidates should participate in the elections, and the candidate who participated from a political party, he is known as the party candidate. And if a candidate not from any political party is known as independent candidate. Yes, and this political party will and the election commission only plays a role in preparing electoral list, executing code of conduct, creating level playing field and announcing the dates for elections. But the real warriors who conduct the elections are government employees. These government employees will assist the Election Commission of India to conduct elections. The Election Commission of India deploys the polling personals, the government employees, those who are executing their duties at different levels of revenue and teaching department. For a state, there will be a chief electoral officer. The district collector acts as the chief election officer, and for every district the district collector acts as a chief election officer, and for every constituency there will be the RDO will be appointed as returning officer. This returning officer will collect the nominations of the contesting candidates. with their affidavit file. What is mean by affidavit? Affidavit is a individual oath. In this affidavit, the contesting candidates should include their crime record, educational qualifications, net worth, and other biography data of the contesting candidate. Here is the affidavit of our present CM. And to participate in elections, the contesting candidates should have some qualifications. Those are: to contest as MLA, a contesting candidate should be the citizen of India and he or she will be 25 years old, and they should not be a salaried government employee, and such qualifications are prescribed by the parliament by law. To contest as Sarpanch, a contesting candidate should be a citizen of India and should be the resident of that Gram Panchayat, should have a vote in that Gram Panchayat. He or she will be 21 years old. This is the qualification to contest in elections. And now we are going to discuss about what is the situation on polling day. And this is the layout of the polling booth, and this is the actually how it looks for every polling station. For this polling booth layout will be applied. On the polling day, the polling personals will make the all arrangements to voter to cast their vote in a democratic and peaceful atmosphere. The place where all the people of the village can cast their vote is called polling station. The presiding officer is the head of the polling station, and the presiding officer will be assisted by assistant presiding officer with the help of polling agents. These polling agents are a person who come behalf of every political party to make sure that elections should be happen in a proper way, and the major role of these officers are to conduct free and fair elections. What is mean by free and fair? Without obstacles. You may ask a question that what obstacles we face during elections. Those are booth capturing and vote rigging. Booth capturing means where the people of the political party will take over the booth under their control and manipulate the votes in favor to them is called booth capturing. Vote rigging means where there is a political party or some people will use their muscle power and money power to manipulate the votes in favor to a particular person or candidate is called vote rigging. To avoid these malpractices in the elections, the election commission will take the help of the military. And now we will discuss about the mechanism of voting. Friends, this is the ballot paper and this is the EVM. Now we are using EVM, but in earlier days we used the ballot paper to cast our vote. We have to stamp a swastik mark on the candidate which we have to vote, and then we have to fold it in a proper way. And now we are using this machine called EVM. We all know we use this nowadays. We are using this EVM to cast our vote. And friends, you may notice a difference in this ballot paper and in this ballot unit, that this ballot unit have a nota option. What is mean by nota? Before knowing this, if you may ask a question that if I don't want to elect or I don't want to select any of the above candidates, does I have the does I have the chance to vote? Yes, you have. You can't sit without voting in your house. You should vote. For that, you can choose the option nota. Nota means none of the above. If you cast your vote to nota, that means you casted your vote against this all candidates. And the next gadget in EVM is control unit. This control unit is known as the heart of the entire EVM system. Yes, this control unit will control the all other subjects, all other objects in the EVM system. And the next one is VVPAT. VVPAT means, yes, when you cast your vote in ballot unit, you may have a doubt that does your vote casted or not. To avoid this confusion, the Election Commission introduced VVPAT, Voter Verified Paper Audit Trail. When you casted your vote in the ballot unit, this EVM will show the slip for 8 seconds. On this slip, there will be a symbol of the party to whom you casted your vote. And this is the mechanism of the EVM system in nowadays. And after the elections are conducted, the votes will be counted, and the majority and the party which got the and the contesting candidate who got majority of votes in a constituency will be declared as the winner, and the party which got majority of constituencies in the state will be form the government. And after the results, all the elected candidates will sit at one place and elect their leader, CM or PM. And recent Telangana elections, a government was formed with above 60% of majority constituencies. And let's see a summary of this class. We have learnt about democratic government and monarchical government. Yes, I hope you have a clarity about democratic government and monarchical government. Simply, the democratic government means who have the power to vote, and the monarchical government who don't have the power to elect their kings. In the political parties who contest in elections, and the Election Commission have many roles. Yes, I hope you guys got a good clarity about the Election Commission and the role of Election Commission. And the level playing field. The level playing field provides the equality to the voter and the contesting candidate. And the role of government employees are to execute their duties at ground level and to conduct the free and fair elections without any obstacles, and to form, and they will be a pillar to form a democratic government. And the main pillars of the democratic government are who? To conduct elections, the main pillars are who? Government employees, political parties, and Election Commission. And the last one, voting mechanism. How just now we have discussed about the modern voting mechanism, and I want to conclude with your vote is your power. Your vote is your power, your voice. Don't let it go unheard. Seize the opportunity and cast your vote for the better future you believe in. So I want to thank our state government for conducting this innovative program, and I want to thank my principal Sri Mangtabhukia Garu for giving me this chance, and I want to specially thank my mentor K. sir for giving me this chance, and I want to thank 𝗓𝗏 Reddy sir, my mentor, for this. Thanks. And I want to thank my house master G. Narendra sir for giving me this chance, and thank you all for this opportunity, and thank you to all the staff members of TTWREIS boys, 𝗪𝗁. Thank you.